Hello YouTube, Slate Warrior here, and I am going to bring you guys another video today. It will be sort of a discussion, sort of an explanation of a new format of Yu-Gi-Oh! That I read about in an article on the ARG website. And also, before I get to that, I just want to tell you that I have a surprise for you guys on my bed right here, but you guys will not get to see that yet. After this, I'll be completely 100% wholeheartedly dedicating all of my YouTube time to making the 100 subscriber special. I need to finish that up, touch it up, so I can start posting all the duel videos. And the finale of that will involve the thing that I have right here for you guys. So look forward to that. So you won't be seeing any more videos for, I'm not sure, like a couple days at least. I'm sure it won't be a week, but I'm gonna have like 2 or 3 days to finish up, just touch up some of the videos and get the last few duels that I need to get you for the 100 subscriber special. So I'll be linking this ARG article down in the description, and enjoy. So since I assume that not all of you are going to read the article, the first thing that I'm going to do is go over each of the separate rules that are in place for this format, starting with rule number 1. I'll put it on the screen so you guys can read it, but what you do is, basically this format is played with commons. It doesn't have to be commons, but he just says commons in order to show that this is sort of a budget format. So yeah, 40 cards, and each player uses the same amount of each type of card, spell, trap, monster. The recommended ratio was 20, 10 to 10, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, as long as both decks have the same ratio. The next rule may sound pretty familiar to you because it is simply the exact same way that you would begin any other game of Yu-Gi-Oh! You determine who is going first, shuffle your decks, and draw 5 cards each. And I guess that's new because of the new rule change in this recent format. But that is the same, and it is consistent through this format as well. The next rule is the standout rule, the rule that makes this format interesting and unique. It is that whatever monster you draw can be played as any monster in the game, any spell can be played as any spell, any trap can be played as any trap. Now, there are a lot of elaborations that come in later rules to this specific rule, but it is, the basic premise of what this format is. You can use your knowledge of every card in the game to your advantage. For instance, let's say your opponent activates Smashing Ground. If you want to, you can make whatever set trap you have, Destruction Jammer or any other trap that would counter it at that time. The next rule is, again, elaborating on the fact that you can change whatever card you have in your hand to whatever card you want of the same type, monster, spell, or trap, and that is that the monsters do not have to be the same level, type, or attribute as the drawn monster. So as you can see, I have an example of Blue Eyes White Dragon. If you have a Blue Eyes White Dragon in your deck and you happen to draw it, you can turn that into whatever you want. It does not have to be another light dragon level 8 monster. The next rule, rule number 5, is pretty much the same as rule number 4, except that it is a spell trap version, and that is that any spell or trap that you draw does not have to be played as the same type as that is listed on the card. So for instance, if you draw My Body is a Swag, you can play it as an Upstart Goblin if you so please. This next rule is another one that was made to help balance out the fact that you can use pretty much whatever card you can think of. This rule states that you may only use cards that are unrestricted on the forbidden and limited list. If the card is ban limited or semi-limited, that means at 1, 2, or 0. In the advanced format, you cannot use it in Imaginary Yu-Gi-Oh! At all, for it is banned. So I'm sorry to all of you that thought you could use Monster Reborn in Stratos, but those cards are of course not allowed. Also, you cannot use cards that were like promos for like Worlds, or for instance, in Legendary Collection for Joey's World, there was Card of Last Will. You cannot use cards that state this card cannot be used in a duel either. Rule 7 is another really important elaboration to rule number 3, that is that you can only activate 1 of each card name per game, and I thought that the article gave a really good example for this one. If you activate a Reckless Greed and you have another trap card set, that other trap card cannot be another Reckless Greed. The next rule is the simplest of all of the rules, yet it is still extremely important, and that is there is simply no extra deck use allowed at all. This was probably implemented to avoid the format turning into something like the regular advanced format, because you would end up playing decks that were going to go into the extra deck, and we want to keep this as skillful as we can, and the knowledge of cards that can be played in the main deck is much less common than that of the extra deck, because there are plenty of generic Exceeds and Synchros to go into today. The 9th and final mandatory rule covers a ruling problem that you may encounter when dealing with the 3rd rule, and that is, once you use a card, it has to remain the same name for the rest of the game. So, if you use something like Asura Priest, which returns to your hand during the end phase, you may want to keep that card revealed so your opponent knows that you're not going to resummon that Asura Priest as a different monster. So before I go into my specific thoughts about this matter, I just want to thank ARG and the author of this article and the creator of Imaginary Yugioh, because the author did not state a specific origin of this sort of format. But I want to know what you guys have to say about this. Like, when I first read this, I was blown away. Like, this is just a genius idea, and I think that the fact that anybody can play this with any 40 cards is pretty cool, because, you can turn whatever you have into whatever you want. And it's just a really good idea. Like, it's just really thought-provoking and skillful. I feel like it'll be like a little bit less controversial. Like, I know a lot of people complain about the format today because there are just some people that can afford the best cards, and this game would just be purely skill. So I don't know, do you guys want to see like duels on my channel like this? Because like I think it would be pretty cool if I could just like do some of those for you guys. Do you want to see like people like doing this at like events, or do you want to see just other YouTubers doing it? And what do you guys have to say about this? Like, you guys can definitely like make a video response, so you guys can make videos dueling like this. I just want to see what you can come up with, and I want to see what I can come up with. So you'll probably see a little bit further down the line on my channel some sort of duels like this, because I want to finish my 100 subscriber special for you guys. But I'm definitely interested in this format. I'll definitely be studying it, and I'll be practicing, and if I get good enough at it, you may see something on my channel about this in the future. So if you decide to go down in the description below and click the link and read the entire article, you will see that there were also some option rules. So if you guys want me to use any of those in the duels that I may or may not produce on this channel, tell me in the comment section below. There are also some strategies if you guys want to read. It's a really interesting article as well as a format, so you should definitely click that link. But from what I'm thinking right now, I think I'm actually going to stick with the 20-10-10 ratio monster spells traps. But if you guys want to change that, you can definitely tell me in the comment section below what you think the best ratios to play would be. But leave a comment definitely about what you think about this format, because when I read it, like I said, I was just extremely interested. I want to see what you guys think about it being more skillful. Do you think it is less skillful? Do you think the fact that the cards don't necessarily go together makes it like worse? Do you think that there will just be some completely broken cards because some cards that are generic were just designed to be so much better than others? Just remember, the fact that like limited and semi-limited cards are also banned will help a lot. At least I think so. But I want to know what you guys think. Like this video if you enjoyed it, favorite it if you liked it that much, subscribe to my channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos, and hopefully some duels with this format, and share this with your Yu-Gi-Oh friends, because I want to know what everybody has to say about this format. I want to like put it out there on the YouTubes. I want to know what people have to say. I don't think anybody else has made a video covering this yet, but I want to see people like start making duels like with this. I want to watch some. I want to watch some people duel this way. I want to see what strategies people will start using. So, share it with your friends that may be interested in doing a video sort of like that, because I really want to see it. So that's just a personal request from me. If you have a friend that may be interested in doing like this and recording it, tell them, because I want to see it. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you later, YouTube.